Live from News 9 WAOW, this is News 9 at 10.
Joe Biden is now the 46th president of the United States. The executive actions he's taking during his first day in office.
If you received a PPP loan, you may have to pay taxes on it. I'll be live with the details. And a wild deer tests positive for CWD in central Wisconsin. What the DNR is doing to stop the spread.
Right now, President Joe Biden is spending his first night in the White House. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Bill Aldrich.
And I'm Allie Peters. Earlier today, he was sworn in as the 46th President of the United States.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
President Biden saying his swearing in marks a day of history and hope. He called for unity in our country and told our allies that America has been tested and we've come out stronger.
We will repair our alliances and engage with the world once again, not to meet yesterday's challenges, but today's and tomorrow's challenges. And will lead not merely by the example of our power, but by the power of our example.
The inauguration was different than normal, but some traditions remained. Congressional leaders gave gifts to President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. The two also visited Arlington National Cemetery for a wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Throughout the celebration, President Biden did manage to get some work done on his first day. The president put pen to paper on a series of executive orders, memoranda, and directives, several of which focus on the pandemic. One order requires mask and physical distancing on all federal properties. Another action brings the U.S. back into the World Health Organization. And President Biden is creating a position for a COVID-19 response coordinator to unify the national response.
As the first female to be vice president, Kamala Harris made history today. And this isn't the first time she's done so. On her road to the White House, Harris was elected as San Francisco's first black woman to be district attorney. She was also the first woman, black, and South Asian American to serve as California's attorney general. People in our area say it brings them hope.
I think it really showed minorities that they have a chance at succeeding. And I think that's inspirational for many young women, especially myself. I think it's really nice to see someone who, looks like me.
Harris inspiring many girls out there today. And as we heard her say in her victory speech a couple of months ago, she may be the first woman to hold this position, but she certainly will not be the last.
Wisconsin lawmakers are reacting to the inauguration of President Biden and Vice President Harris. Democratic U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin was at the U.S. Capitol to watch them take the oath of office. In a tweet, she wrote, quote, "We have a lot of work to do, and I know Joe and Kamala are ready to do it." Republican U.S. Senator Ron Johnson was also at today's inauguration. He posted a tweet, quote, "I wish President Biden well and encourage him to follow through on his pledge to be president for all Americans and act to unify our divided nation."
As this administration begins, another one ended. Former President Donald Trump left the White House early this morning, skipping the inauguration. The former president held a farewell event at Joint Base Andrews before heading to his home in Florida.
I wish the new administration great luck and great success. I think they'll have great success.
Former Vice President Mike Pence was at the inauguration. After the ceremony, he and his family flew back to Indiana.
We're learning businesses that receive PPP loans may have to pay state taxes on that money. News 9's Sarah McGrew is live in Wausau with what this means for local stores and restaurants. Sarah.
Yeah, a second round of PPP loans for applications are now open, but there's some concerns about whether or not that will be taxed, and experts say that's something you should consider before accepting the loans. The Paycheck Protection Program has provided relief for thousands of businesses struggling during the pandemic.
We were able to apply and receive funding for the people that were laid off here so that we could rehire them back.
Some now raising concerns about taxes on those funds.
Businesses can make deductions for the loans on their federal taxes. But right now, the same isn't true when it comes to Wisconsin state taxes.
So for us, it would be very beneficial if the taxes were waived on it.
The Wisconsin Department of Revenue posting to their website that a taxpayer may not deduct PPP expenses in the taxable year.
I mean, if they're helping us out, I don't know why they would be wanting to tax us at the same time, because it seems to be counter to what they're trying to accomplish, and that's helping American companies.
The Portage County Business Council says that tax is something businesses will have to weigh against the benefits of the PPP loan.
It really does depend on the organization, where they are. I think again, the federal government and state government are trying to do their best to support the business community, but people have to make sure that they look at all the strings that come attached with those forgivable loans.
As for Michael, he says the tax won't deter him from applying for a second round of PPP.
Well, I wouldn't change my thoughts, because net is net. There would be some value in it.
But still hopes things change before tax day. And experts say the best thing that you can do is reach out to the bank that you work with and figure out if the PPP loan is the right choice for your business. Live in Wausau, Sarah McGrew, News 9 WAOW.
Thank you, Sarah. If you received unemployment insurance in 2020, your tax forms are now available online. The Department of Workforce Development says 1099-G forms are available on their uninsurance portal. Those forms will be necessary when filling out your tax return to show that you received unemployment payments. A paper copy will also be sent to those granted online exceptions.
Well, Mike, we've been on a temperature roller coaster so far this week.
That's right. It is going to be continuing the next few days as well. We had just enough sunshine and mix of clouds late this afternoon to afford us some really interesting views of today's sunset. The first from Sarah Stevenson in Stevens Point. Brilliantly warm orange and red colors in her sky, but a little bit more of a subtler view from Brianna Phillips in Almond. Boy, this one is just splendid with the sky. It looks like it's such a long distance view into the horizon. Thanks to both gals for submitting their photos today. Well, the main weather headline otherwise has been the mild turnaround of the day. The current temperature reading in Wausau is the high for the day at 32 degrees. The wind still breezy from the southwest. That helped to turn around the conditions today. Across the area, temperature readings generally in the upper 20s to low 30s at this time, even warmer to the southwest. Right now, 39 degrees in La Crosse. Our forecast tonight will stay mild, low in Wausau at 27, still breezy too. We'll have a change coming our way the next few days that could eventually bring us some snow. I'll have the update in a few minutes.
Thank you, Mike. Beginning January 25th, anyone over the age of 65 will be eligible to receive a COVID vaccine in Wisconsin. But health officials say it will continue to be a slow process. Officials at Aspirus are working to reach out to senior citizen patients. But those who are not patients and who do not have access to the internet or a computer may have to wait longer if they call Aspirus's COVID hotline.
The one thing that we could all use is your patience. And stay calm and help us plan this out.
Officials say wait times may also be longer depending on the number of doses the state receives. Ascension, Aspirus, and Marshfield clinics say the best way to register to receive your vaccine is to use their websites. Like we just mentioned, phone lines are also available for Aspirus and Marshfield, but those should be reserved for people who don't have computers. County-level health departments have reported they will be offering vaccination clinics in the near future to help take some pressure off of hospitals, but those have not yet been set.
More than 18,000 COVID-19 vaccine doses have made their way into arms in north central Wisconsin. That's out of the 260,000 which have been given statewide. 45,000 people are now fully vaccinated. 100,000 doses are on the way to the state. Another 473,000 are ordered, and 779,000 are allocated. 50 more COVID-19 related deaths were reported in Wisconsin today. 4 of those in Oneida County, 1 each in Clark and Lincoln counties. 1,500 COVID-19 test results came back positive, with less than 24,000 known active cases in the Badger State.
A deer in Wood County has tested positive for chronic wasting disease. It's a disease that's always fatal to deer. The DNR says the adult male buck was harvested during the 2020 gun deer season in Port Edwards. Because CWD was found, the DNR is renewing baiting and feeding bans in Juneau, Adams, and Wood counties, as required by law.
Unfortunately, wasn't necessarily surprised by the announcement that we found the first one in Wood County. We've seen it pop up in surrounding counties, Marathon, Adams, Juneau, and Portage in recent years. So it wasn't necessarily unexpected, but it is obviously disappointing to continue to see that spread.
The DNR will continue surveillance in the area the CWD positive deer was found.
A young poet captures the attention of the nation. Hear her inspirational performance straight ahead.
And for the first time, a shelter dog will be living in the White House. What animal advocates say this means for other shelter dogs.